Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good day I bid to everyone. Okay, so today my team and I are going to present our final project on programming technique 2 SECJ 1023. Okay, so first let me introduce our team first. We are consisting of 3 people. Okay, we are doing our patient's data distribution system. Okay, so this is our team member. We have Arif Amiruddin bin Sajaran as our leader. Okay, and
Yeah.
we have MD Farhad Ahmad Rinku. Okay,
Hello.
and me, Muhammad Iskandar Zulkarnain bin Muhammad Ishaq. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin for our project today. Okay, so patients data distribution is designed for the purpose of to ease the traffic of patients. Okay, basically, the gist or the idea of the system rise when Malaysia or around the world is currently having the problem, okay, of pandemic COVID-19. So we have many problem. We need to monitor our patients, incoming patients, outcoming patients. So we think that we need a system that can cater for everything. Okay. Okay, so yang ni part Farhad, kau terus pergi dekat scope of project
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Farhad Ahmed Rinku, and I'm from the team PT COVID. As my friends already talked about the introduction of our topic, that is patient data distribution system. I'm just gonna be talking about the problem background. To be precise, we just wanted a system that is precise and accurate, and it is most what do you call it? It functions premises to prevent mistrust, encourage transparency, and provide information to the higher ups and real time. So for it to be real time, the system is introduced to manage all the data in one step center so that there will be no redundancy as what being done conventionally because of the patient's information on a logbook. And that's basically it's like we just wanted to make a system that just took and the precise and accurate system. It gives the patients a relief to talk about and to discuss about their patients and something, and to basically reduce the redundancy and the workflow and the workload of the hospital. So let's go to the next slide. That is, I'm interested to. The next slide will be about the project objectives of this system. So for the system data distribution system, we have mainly 4 objectives. Among them, the main is to store, modify, and analyze the data of COVID-19 patients, because that's where we are really concerned about. The second is, that is a really important one, is to import. It's like what we mean about that is to read an existing data file from our resource file. It's like we want our system to take in whatever it can and to read it as it is. The third one is decision, which is to determine the security level of patients admitted, because that's all we need right now for the COVID-19 patients. We need the security so that it doesn't go spreading around. And the last one is to track, which is a really important decision in containing the COVID-19 virus. That is to monitor and ease the traffic flow in a certain hospital or premises to avoid overflow. Overflow means to so that the work doesn't get mixed up with other things and the other results doesn't mix up with others, and so that we can just contain this COVID-19 pandemic. And lastly, my topic, as our team decided, is to talk about the flowchart, which is it's like, first of all, we will just start our program, which will the program will then just read the data file from the text, and if the program opens, then we will just go to count. If it doesn't, it will just show automatically error message that it doesn't found any result or any data or text files, sorry. And if it's true, the patients will be entered onto the system and they will be given a display mode that is already as you can see in the slide. And from the display, the user will have to put on certain inputs that what are the patients, is like add patients for, is like what are the names, the patient details and all. Modify patient data is like it's for if you wanted to update any more information that you already have inputted. And then display patient data for them to display their own data, so that they can display and to rectify or maybe to familiarize with the system. And then the last one is to uh, discharge. It's like they can see when they are discharged or something, so that will be also in the system. From there, the add patient will be patient count, that is iterative one. We will just add one after another patient, whoever comes in and goes. So that's one for it. Then the modifying patient data will be updated text file data, that we will just straight go to updating our data file that we firstly or initiatively in intake. It's like if there are any changes to the patients or not. Then displaying the patient's data will just go straightly main to input. As you can see, it goes to one and one goes to display main menu. And the last one is discharge, so it will also be updated in the text file. And as you can see, all of this will be end when the user input is already seen what he has to see, and then it will just go to 2, which you can see that it is already written as 2 as the end. So it will just end our program right there. Thank you so much for your patience in listening to my presentation. Hope you guys have a good time. Thank you.
The next, to the scope of project, I present Arif to present his findings.
So when we see the scope of project, so it's basically tell us the function or the basic of our system, of our program. And the first function is to perform several normal functions to key in patient data distribution and tracking of high severity patient in a digital system. So what we did is that we record the information of all COVID-19 patients that currently in Malaysia. And it includes the nationality of the patient, which is either Malaysian or could be foreigner that are currently living in Malaysia. It also stores the state which they are currently in, and basically all the information for that particular patient. And this project is about storing data of patient and can be managed via some interested people with provided credentials. So it is particularly focused on medical trainers or doctor or any medical officer. So we go to UML class diagram. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 classes. So let's say the center of our program is going around patient class. So patient class is the parent for 2 classes, foreigner and Malaysian. So this is the inheritance principle, where the base classes could use the parent classes attribute and functions. So Malaysian and foreigner could use any of the given attributes and methods. We can also just create only all the methods and attribute in one classes, which is foreigner and also Malaysian, but this create a duplicate of attributes. So in order to avoid that, we only create one and we have 2 classes under it. And we also have polymorphism, which basically the same function name, but with a different way of doing things. So we have display patient in Malaysian and display patient in foreigner, and also the parent classes. And for the class account, it actually manages the access of people that can connect to our system. So we prepare 5 accounts for medical officer and 1 system account that basically just look and see whether there are any attempt to log in to medical officer accounts. So it will also state the username and also the password for each attempt. It could be successful or failed. Doesn't matter. It will also be displayed. And we have states, which is this white diamond is the sign of aggregation. So basically we use pointer that is declared in class patient, which will point to the attribute that is available in class states. So in class states, we basically choose it could be Selangor or Johor, and all the hospital that is in each state. So in Johor, we have different hospital. In Selangor, we have different hospital. So we want to differentiate that. And the last class is the risk class. This basically manage whether a particular patient is a highly mortality rate. Basically, it's in a dangerous state for COVID-19 pandemics. So we need to separate the low level or the high level risks. So in order to avoid more junkie time. So, and also manage the room and the condition. So the room for high risk, we put it in ICU, while low risk, we just put it in a regular quarantine zone. So this is the flowchart, run demo, conclusion, last.
Okay, so Arif, I think you can present our code first,
Yes,
and then we jump to conclusion.
I will open the code first.
Mm.
Good. So the first class. So let's see the attribute first. So username, password, and this is basically the attribute that hold the username and password. And input user and input pass, this is from the input from the keyboard. And for system and system pass, this is the different account than the username and password. This one is the system logs, or the one that we monitor the attempt of any login throughout our program. So same also, input system and input system pass. And string record account 1000 and 1000. This is an array, so it managed to hold 1000 data or any attempt for 1000. And we have limit record, limit success, account succeed, and access failure. This is the data for any attempt. So limit record is how many attempts that have been done, and limit success is the one that is succeed, account succeed, access succeed, and this one is for failure. So this is the class, two classes. So the first, to create an object, the one with no argument is to declare an object, and the one for the admin. And for the second one is the object for the 5 accounts. So each time we create an object, the argument X will be the username and argument Y will be the passwords. And also again, we declare the account for system. And I think we just go through here. And what account, set account, string X and string Y. So we just declare what is X, what is Y. This one, the difference between this and this is this one we use a function, while this one we use an account, our class declaration. And get account, so it just return the value of username, input account. This one is to get the input from the user. And this one is for the record attempt. And this is the bool function. So we check whether the password that is entered is correct or not. So we have, okay, so if X username, so based on the username, it will match with this match password. So if it is a match, and it will return true, otherwise it will return false. And void account system logs, this is the one for the system. This one that only have one account, so this one will the account to check the number of attempts. And check system logs, also same as before, but for this one it is for input system, return true and return false. And get account succeed, we just return the value of particular attribute. Also same for get limit record. And void display title. This is the main header for our table. And for this one is display system. So it is to check where the one that is succeed and is false. So x for limit success x equal to x. We match the limit success with every time we manage to enter the correct password. So this is the correct password. And this is the display for our table for the one in system logs. So this is all for account, while this one is the number of all attempt for system. And then we go to the second class. So this is like our parent class for two inheritance class. So this is why we use protected. So the base class could also use this attributes. So patient name for the name of your patient, contact number, identification. Identification is could either be an IC or a passport depending on the patient. So if the patient is a Malaysian, so it will be an IC, while otherwise it will use the passport. So this one is for the option. So we use integer. This is the one that we can choose from the menu. So it could be either choose one or choose two. And same for option identification. And this is the class declaration. And this is the function. Okay, so we just go straight here. So this is the class. So I'm sorry, this is the function for get contact. So it will return the contact number. This one is the class for no argument. And this is the function for input identification. So it is could either be identification card, which is IC, and second one is the passport. And it will return the value of the option. So it's either could be 1 or could also be 2. And this is the close contact number. For contact number, any phone number, it could for the general population is either 10 or 11. So plus the empty space, so it is 12 for character array. So every time we enter a new phone number, it will check whether the number is more than 11, between 10 or 11. And it will change to character. And to check whether the phone number is actually a digit or could be a huruf or numeric number. And this one is for input condition. So it is used to enter the condition of any patient. So the first condition is high risk or in dangerous level. The second one is low risk. So in the option, this is the option, and it will return the value of option. So it return the value either 1 or 2. And this is display patient title. This one is just the header for our table. And this is to return the patient name. And this is to enter the string for patient name. Then we go to next class, which is class states. And for class states, we have 4 attributes. So the first is same as before, state option, could be 1 or 2 or 14, and hospital option, and string negeri. So it basically store which states are you in, could be in Johor or Singapore, Selangor. And we have string hospital. So the first one is the class declaration. But this one is for no argument, and this one with 2 arguments, and integer display state. So I think we just go straight to the function step. So the first class declaration is empty, while the second one, it store the value of states and hospital in two attributes, so hospital and negeri. So, and we use this to differentiate between which one is the attribute and the argument. For display state, it basically display all of the state and federal in Malaysia. So we have 16 options. And this one is including federal territories of Kuala Lumpur, Labuan, and Putrajaya. And this is the state option. And if we return, the value could be from 1 until 16. And for this function, so the value that we return from state option, I will go to this function. And depending on the number of state option, it will declare the value for negeri depending on its territories or states. So we have 16. And it will return the value of negeri. And this one is the same with the one above, but this one is for states and territories, while this one will be focusing on hospital. So state option. So for Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur, we have 2 hospitals, and this one will, depending on the hospital option, it will declare the variable hospital with its particular hospital. So we have Hospital Kuala Lumpur and Hospital Tunku Azizah. And this one for Labuan, for Putrajaya, this one is for Johor, this one is for Kedah, Kelantan, Melaka, Perlis, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang, Pulau Pinang, and Perak, Sabah, and Sarawak, Selangor. And the way that it is arranged following the huruf of the first state. So we have Terengganu, and it will return the variable hospital. This one just to get the value of variable negeri and hospital. And we have class rigs. So in class rigs, we have 2 private attributes. So we have room, we have condition B. Room is to store the room of the patient, while the condition B is used to store whether it's a high risk or a low risk. And class declaration, just go straight to this one. So this is the class, empty class. And this one to return the room, this one to return the condition. And the R here is depending on whether it is high risk or low risk. For let's see the second one. The second one is a low risk, so it will go to this one. It is inter ward room number, while for the high risk it will enter ICU. So that is the difference. And it's just check whether the number have 3 digits, and change to character and check whether the character is a digit or not, and it will return the room, same as this one, but this one is for ICU. And condition R, this is to declare the condition for each patient. So we have low risk for 2 and high risk for 1. And this is the time. So this is basically record the check-in and check-out date for each patient. So let's go straight to this one. This is the class declaration. This is the set check-in. So for this one, it basically input the value of the date for check-in. So this one is, the first 4 is year, month, and day. And it check whether the length is 8. And it will change to character and check whether the character is a digit or not. And same for this one. But this one is for the check-in, while this one is for the check-out. And this is where we return the value for check-in and the value for check-out. And this is the first base class in So we have two lah. So we have class manager under class patient. So the declaration is the string for my card, state st. This one is a pointer that is used to refer the attribute that is in class states. So it's the character, Malaysian. So we transfer. So the value of object states will be equal with the one that is declared in Malaysian. And for this one is input data. So my card have 12 character. So we add one for empty space and basically do the whole code. And this one we enter the my card and check the my card length and change to character whether it is a digit or not. This one is display title, and display title is only the header for the table. And this one is also display patient, but this one is in class manager and it only show an output of 3 because the rest could be accessed from the other function in patient class. So this is a polymorphism, but this one is in class manager, and this is to return our IC number. And this is the second class, the second base class under patient. So the difference between this one and the Malaysian is this one use passport, and we have an origin country where the country that they originally come from. Also another pointer, foreigner with argument, and input data, display title, display patient. So this display patient is inside foreigner. So this is the polymorphism. Display title is also polymorphism. String get passport, and this one the declaration. So we mesh the value of argument into our state st2, and this one to input the value of passport and to check whether the passport match the length of 8, and each character that is input is actually a digit. And this one is inter-country origin. This is the header. This is the output. And this is the return passport. And the rest is the interface of our program. So this is the main menu. It shows 3 mode: admin mode, guest, and system logs, and exit. So this one is select us. This one is for the first mode, which is an admin mode. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 option, while the 0 for sign out. So it basically return to the main menu. And the guest, the difference between the guest and a user menu is that the guest could only look or add the patient directory, while this one could add any new patient, modify, or discharge a particular patient. And this one is for discharge. Whenever we discharge a patient, we given the option whether we want to save that particular patient inside a text file or just exit. And this is the which username. This one is the first class, the class account. And okay, this one, starting from here, we go to the main function. So this one is the declaration, choice option. This one is to navigate the main menu of our interface. And this is the integer for temporary save function. This one is for account succeed, limit record. And also for this one, just for temporary variable to store the function that is returned instead of void. And this is the object declaration. So for account, we have A5 because we have 5 accounts, and account B for other reason at below. So we have 5 accounts. So this is the username, and this is the password for admin 1, admin 2, admin 3, 4, and 5. This is for Malaysian patient and foreigner patient. So we could store 500 patient that is Malaysian and 500 patient that is foreigner. This is object for patient class patient fee, and SM for state Malaysian and state foreigner, time Malaysian and time foreigner, and rich Malaysian and rich foreigner. So this is the main menu. So take a look. So this is the main menu. So we just call the function to display the interface. We put the choice, and this is a switch case. So for one, we will go to the login. This one is to check. This one also, we use an exception here. It will throw a string wrong password whenever wrong password is entered. And this one is case 2, just that we directly go to guest. So we have another, let's say a do and do while at the below. But that one is for the guest. So we have case 3. And case 3 is for the system logs. And other option, it will throw an unknown option, string. And this is the condition, and go to exit. Whenever we choose 0, so we go to exit. So we go to exit and it will jump to return 0. So this one is for user, do. So it will show user interface, choice, and the case. So the first one, okay, this one is add. So this one is used to add any patient. So input identification, and okay, this one is for the nationalities. So 1 for Malaysian and 2 for foreigner. So this one just call all the function to store the data for that particular patient. Same for this one, but this one is for foreigner, and this one is to modify. So for this one, if we insert a my card, it will check whether we have any my card with the same data. So if it is correct, then it will edit all the data again. Well, this one is for passport for foreigner, and this one is for display. And for display, same as before, the one is for Malaysian, and this is the header of our table, and this is all the patient. This is all the attribute that they shown. So this one is for just for number, patient name, all the function that have written it will show here. While for this one is for foreigner, same as above, but this one we instead of my card we use IC and so on. While for search we use the my card, and it will just display this one we just use M0 because this one is just display patient title. So it's the same for every array of object, and this one is to check whether it is equal to my card that we have inside our database. This one is for second. This one is for foreigner, and this one for discharge. So for discharge, we're given the option to store the data into a text file. So if we choose to store, we go to the first case and the file name, and it is separated by a comma. And this is an exception whenever we input an unknown option. So we'll throw an unknown option here. Condition, same as above, but this one is for foreigner. And this is the load. So any text file that already been stored will can be opened through here. So we just input the IC or the type, the name of the file here, and this one is for to check whether the file can be opened or not, and store the value of the text, and it will display the value with the comma. This one an exception for unknown option, and this one is the guess. For the guess, we only have 3 cases because it could only do 3 option or function. So the first one is just to display all the patient, for it could be either Malaysian or foreigner. And this one is to search particular patient using their IC or their passport. And this is the throw for unknown option. And that's all. This one expression for program terminate. Now done.
Right. So that is for the coding explanation.
Coding
So
explanation.
okay, we're going to run the program. Okay, so Arif, you want to run or me want to run?
Iskandar, silakan.
Okay, let me run the code, the program. Okay,
Yeah, I
so
will stop
basically
sharing my screen.
everything about the codes, and we know that this is about the patient's data storage and modifying. Okay, so let us try one our system. So actually here we have 3, right? Admin, guest, and system log. So let's say we want to be an admin. Okay, then you're going to insert your username. Okay, your username, we are going to give it, okay, predefined credentials. Okay, so in our report, we already include the credentials. Okay, so you can choose any of it to enter the system. So I want to choose admin 1. Sorry. Okay, admin 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? Okay, so now I have several functions. Okay, let's say we want to display patient directory. Okay, so let's say I want to find a person with, okay, using identification card. So here we can see no one, okay, because we didn't put any person yet. We didn't register any person yet. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to add a new patient. Okay, we choose one, and then we want to add, okay, using identification card because it is Malaysian. Okay, and then you enter patient name. Okay, Arif, what patient name you want?
Azman. Some random name. Azman.
Azman. Okay, we have Azman here. So, okay, Azman Michael, let me guess. 980701122341. Okay. So, contact number. Arif, give me a contact number.
999.
999. Okay. Then,
It,
why
it,
is enter contact number again?
because the contact number only between 10 and 11.
Yes. Okay, because it must be within the range. So, we need to put maybe 01276111432. Okay. So, check in date today.
2020. 06
06, right? Month.
06. 28.
Is when 28. Okay, so he's Azman from
From Johor.
Johor. Okay, where is Johor? Okay, Johor is number 4. Okay, then he is from, or he is in hospital.
Pontian. Number 75.
Okay, 75. Okay, then he is
The condition for only low risk. Low risk.
low risk, low risk. We try risk. Okay, what number I want? 213. Okay, so now we already add the patient's data. So we want to see whether it is added or not. So we can just press display data, okay, 3, and then you identification card, and then here you can see we already entered Azman, okay, with low risk, state, hospital, okay, room, and my card number. So actually you can do this repetitively, okay, until you meet the maximum number, and then you can just modify, you can just display, search, okay, and everything. So the thing is the same. Okay, you're going to modify display and search. Okay, we're not going to show. We're going to
Discharge,
show the discharge. Okay, discharge. So discharge, then we choose identification card. Then we enter Azman's IC, right?
yeah,
Okay,
980.
980711
701.
701 701 12 2341. Okay, check out. Okay,
Same day.
same day. Kejap sakit. Okay, 0628. Okay, so now we want to
Save the data
save
into
data.
text
So
file.
write data to file 1. Okay, so
Okay, so
it's already done.
buka file.
Okay, so now we're going to look at the file.
TXT file.
Okay, so here we have this one. Okay, so here you can see one as one. Okay, this is the one who discharged. Okay, we put it into the file, then the information is displayed here. Okay, so if we press just exit, then the data is not stored in this txt file. Okay,
It is
so
optional.
that is optional. Depending if the doctor want the data, then we give. If the doctor don't want data, then we keep it. Okay, so anything to sorry, Arif.
I think that's all for our
Okay,
project.
so maybe that's all for our project. And
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's go to conclusion.
this is the question. Okay, so now the conclusion. All right. So basically, whatever that we state in our objective, we already achieve. Okay, we want to modify, we want to store data, and we want to update, and we want to keep. Okay, everything we have achieved in this system. So yeah, we hope that this system can be used in many premises so that we can help or we can make this work of the system administrator more easy by using our system. Okay, so I think that is all from us.